Hi everyone, welcome to my video talking about the Halo Infinite Insider that recently came and went. Now the Insider was available for 48 hours and I missed the first weekend, so I effectively missed out on 24 hours of the Insider, and out of those remaining 24 hours I couldn't play for 12 of them because of time zone differences, so out of the remaining 12 hours I played 8. Before any people in the comments start saying, oh, you're not actually capable of giving an informed opinion about this Insider. And all in all, excluding matches where I played against bots, I played 27 games online, won 12 and lost 15 with a kill death ratio of about 1, and I don't think there was a way to check stats, so kill death ratio or win loss ratio, from what I was able to see anyway from within the game. So what was actually included in this Insider build of Halo Infinite multiplayer? Well, we had weapon drills, a training mode with bots, the online bot arena, social arena and big team battle playlists. Also there were customization options and a battle pass to earn rewards with challenges to complete for XP and cosmetic items. The available maps to play were Bazaar, Behemoth, Livefire and Recharge for the 4v4 arena modes, and Fragmentation for big team battle. There was some variety of maps, except there were 2 desert stages, those being Bazaar and Behemoth, so it would have been nice if one of these maps were replaced and changed with something different, just so you get extra variety in the locations that you'll be playing Halo Infinite multiplayer in. Also, big team battle only had one map to play on, that being Fragmentation, so it would have been nice to have another map in the rotation so you get some variety in the big team battle maps as well. Some typical Halo weapons are coming back, such as the assault rifle, the battle rifle, the pistol, the plasma pistol, the needler, the sniper rifle, the rocket launcher and the gravity hammer, which seems to have a bit more of a lag to it this time. You can't just use it like you can in older Halo games, it sort of has to prepare itself before you use it to attack an enemy. And since Halo Infinite is a new game, there's going to be some new weapons. So new weapons include the Commando, the Shock Rifle, the Bulldog, the Heatwave, the Skewer and the Ravager. Carbine also makes a return, but this seems to have been adjusted, so instead of firing ballistic rounds like in older Halo games, it actually fires a 3-round burst of plasma, which is effective at taking down shielded enemies, but not that good at doing damage to flesh. This reminds me of the tilt skull being activated in earlier Halo games, where essentially the damage tables get modified so plasma does more damage to shields and bullets deal more damage to flesh. The Ravager, for example, has 2 firing options. You can tap the fire button to fire a 3-round burst of plasma, or hold the button down and release a single projectile that then explodes into an area of effect that does damage over time, which I can see being useful in close quarters situations or for deterring enemies from capture points or stolen flags. The Shock Rifle can damage nearby targets while doing massive damage to shielded enemies. The Heatwave has 2 firing orientations, horizontal and vertical, which kind of reminds me of the scatter shot from Halo 4 and Halo 5, which also has ricocheting projectiles and the ability to hurt enemies at range. Grenades also make a comeback, typical frag grenades, plasma grenades and spike grenades. But new grenades include dynamo grenades, which are bouncy and releases electric bolts that deals damage to shielded targets and can even disable vehicles. Some equipment makes a return, such as the active camouflage and the overshield, but we get new equipment like the deployable wall cover, which reminds me of the deployable wall cover from Halo 3, the threat sensor, which detects enemies and you can see them on your screen if they enter the sensor area, and also the grapple shot, which allows you to be able to hijack vehicles or get to hard to reach locations. There doesn't seem to be any new vehicles, but we do get the Warthog, the Ghost, the Mongoose, the Scorpion, the Banshee and the Wasp. And the game types that were available to play were Slayer, Capture the Flag, Strongholds and Total Control. So now that I've outlined everything that was in the Insider, let me go into each thing individually and offer my insights into how I feel about this. Weapon drills could provide achievements or cosmetic items for 3-starring all the challenges for a specific or all weapons, and is actually a useful start for new players to actually get acquainted with the weapons of Halo Infinite multiplayer. Training mode is good for playing against AI opponents, being able to change settings on the fly and getting familiar with weapon and equipment spawns, as well as the layout of the maps. The online bot arena would be good if there are any bogus challenges or achievements that exist in the multiplayer, if there are any, and it also helps new players to get used to the multiplayer. Social arena can be very frustrating, especially with the objective game modes where communication is key. But it can also be fun if you can get used to it. However, I feel my ego gets in the way of having fun, especially when I don't perform very well. It's either that or the Laser Master achievement that I rightfully earned has put my expectations of my performance in multiplayer way greater than that of reality, which hurts me and then puts me in a catch-22 scenario. And I guess what I mean by that is if I perform poorly, I'm not going to want to play the game. And if I'm not going to want to play the game, I'm not going to get any better at it. If I'm not going to get any better at it, then I'm going to perform poorly, which means I'm going to lose, which means I'm not going to want to play the game, which means I'm going to still perform poorly and still lose and still not want to play it and not get any better, you know, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Big team battle is pretty fun, especially when playing with friends for that all-important communication. But fragmentation was the only playable map, so the games get stale with no map variety. Although, you get used to the map and where weapons spawn and vehicles drop. Also, there's a hackable door to gain access to a vantage point that most people would just normally miss. It's also nice to see environmental details like animals wandering around when there's a war going on, adding a sense of depth to the maps. To be honest, that was pretty cool to see. Honestly, the Battle Pass progress seemed slow, but daily challenges are frequent and they allow you to progress through the levels, and there's a premium pass as well, so you get extra rewards when you level up. At least this is not like Halo 5 Guardians where there's microtransactions on top of a brand new game that you have to pay for. Which then begs the question to me is, how is this going to work with, say, Game Pass Ultimate? Is the campaign going to be included? Is the premium pass going to be included? Do you have to pay for both of these separately? I don't know, I guess only time will tell, and at this point we only have a couple months to go before Halo Infinite launches. It's going to be one of those, I can see a lot of people are going to enjoy it, a lot of people are going to hate it. I'm probably going to be one of those that is going to hate it, but actually construes some enjoyment out of hating it. I do have to point out some glitches that happened, such as when I died in Big Team Battle, the screen faded to black when it shouldn't have. And also how when you respawn it looks really pixelated. Very noticeable at 4K quality, which is what I was playing the game at. And there's also issues with games. I played Capture the Flag on Big Team Battle and the game crashed. And I also tried to join a social arena game, but it glitched out and you couldn't even play. But I guess that's why the Insider is happening now. That way these issues don't happen when Halo Infinite multiplayer actually launches in December 2021. So I think that is everything that I want to say about this. There wasn't that much content included, but Halo multiplayer is all about the replayability. And I think in some ways it is pretty fun to play, but for somebody like myself, I get frustrated about my performance, and that just taints the whole experience. But what about you? What do you think? Have you played the Insider? Am I wrong about what I'm saying? If you haven't, are you interested in Halo Infinite multiplayer, or even the campaign? Please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below, and thank you for watching this GarethTheGamer video. This is the first video I'm doing of this caliber, so I'd greatly appreciate it if you could provide your feedback, and ideally this is the kind of format that I want to do going forward. Of course, because of the amount of time that's progressed since the end of the Insider build, this is a little rushed unfortunately, and the whole idea is that I actually spend time working on what I want to say, collating my thoughts and putting together a coherent video that is entertaining for you to watch and hopefully prompts you to check some of the games that I actually talk about. So if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff, and why don't you buy me a coffee as well, for all the time that I've spent trying to make this video to get it out for you guys, and all the gameplay that I had to suffer through. Now, I'm only kidding, you don't have to donate to me if you don't want to, it just gives me a little incentive to make these kind of videos. Especially since I've had trouble with YouTube demonetization and all that shit. So yeah, with all that being said and done, thank you for watching and I'll see you for the next video.